Welcome to Let That Sink In. My name is Tiffany Smith. I'm the marketing director here at PM and Associates, and I am joined, as always, with my co-host, Todd Morgan, who is a sales rep out of St. Louis. How are you doing today, Todd?
I'm wonderful. Thank you.
Wonderful. We are on episode 5. Can you even believe it, Todd? Of Let That Sink In.
I love it.
I know.
We're having
I'm
fun
so excited.
too. And we're trying to progress a little bit too. We're trying to get advance this. We actually have our studio today. Our guest is in the house today. And
which is so cool. Yes.
It is. But we wanted to be sitting side by side. We wanted to kind of do it as a format like a news desk and all that. But as we evolve, let that sink in. We've got to get some more equipment, obviously.
Yes,
and we discover this as we try to do these. So Ethan is in-house today. He just happens to be in another room.
Without
just
further ado, Ethan, how are you doing? Ethan Shaw from Jomar.
I am good. Thank you for having me. I will say I'm a little disappointed there's no entrance music. Can we get that also?
That comes in post-production, man.
Oh, you name your own like walk-up song, like theme song as you come into the studio.
Ethan, what would your walk-up song be?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Yeah. All I do is win, no matter what.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like that would be yours. Yeah.
That's a good one. I'm also a big fan, Todd. You'll appreciate this little Stranglehold by Ted Nugent.
Ooh, that was a good. Yeah, that would be good.
Got a good kind of started up song going.
Yeah, we might have to talk Tiffany to our producers of the show and see if we can
absolutely
get that audio slid into there.
If you guys could buy the rights to that, that'd be awesome.
Not a problem. For you, Ethan, anything. So Ethan is the business development manager at Jomar Valve, and he's been with Jomar for 3 years. Is that correct, Ethan?
Yes, it is. Even though one of those is a COVID year, so that's like 20 years by itself.
It's very true.
No kidding.
At least 20 years.
Yeah.
But you've been in the industry since 2006.
Yes. Yeah. So I've been all over the place, all with manufacturers though. So I've never experienced the rep side or the wholesale side or anything like that. But yeah, I've been here for a minute. So that's for sure.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about Jomar. Let's talk about the history. Founded in 1966 by Navy Commander Joseph Martin. Jomar was the first manufacturer to offer one valve platform certified to UL, CSA, FM, and NSF for one valve for any application. That is just awesome. And you guys are partnered with Fratelli Pettinaroli, which is an Italian manufacturer, have a long-standing relationship with them. Can you talk to me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually more than a partnership. They own us outright now 100%. So Jomar Valve, although we don't have the Pettinaroli name per se, it is stamped on every valve we have, is the manufacturer. We're owned by them. We just happen to be kind of their North American sales arm for them. And yeah, Joseph Martin, his vision, you named that he was a Navy pilot. Even after that, he was a rep. Selling valves for other manufacturers, and decided that he was tired of selling other people's valves, and it was time for him to do his own thing. And he got into business for himself with the idea of one valve that would work in any situation that you ever have, which we still have that valve today, which is kind of our premier valve in our entire platform.
That's great.
That's our T100 valve, correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
And I think you may have a sample of the T100 valve with you.
I do. Do I show this off? Isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Please do, because you got that nice cutaway.
It
you
is.
Can explain to us a little bit about what makes the T100 special.
Yeah, it is a little bit unique to the market, to the world. What Joseph's idea was, once again, is to have one valve that worked for any type of application, whether it be plumbing, whether it be gas, whatever you were running through it. But then he also went ahead and said, let's make it to where it's a superior valve as well. So a couple of things that he added to it is the triple stem seal that you see at the top. With that triple stem seal, what we're able to do is put a lifetime warranty on leaks past the stem, which there's not another single valve manufacturer out there that has that. And then what we use is a 3rd generation Teflon that for our seats, and what those have is kind of a muscle memory. So as you know, Todd, I'm sure you've seen it a lot. If a valve stays in one position for a long period of time and you actually actuate that valve, you have issues where there could be leaks past the ball. But because of this next generation Teflon that we use, well, we feel confident that is going to suck back up against. So we put a 5-year warranty on leaks past the ball. So best warranty in the market on any ball valve that is out there. And so we're very confident about the abilities that this valve can do.
And the T100 also would be the valve of choice if you had a job that was calling for a domestic valve, correct? They would be, the T100 would meet that specification.
Yeah, so this is 100% manufactured in Italy. There's no parts and pieces that come from anywhere else in the world.
Mhm.
All manufactured there by Pettinaroli in northern Italy, which, by the way, is a beautiful place if you ever wanted to go visit it.
You just did,
Yeah,
didn't you?
I did.
Oh.
I did. Just got back from it. We can talk about that as well. But
Yeah.
I've been to a lot of manufacturing facilities. None overlook a crystal clear lake, and in beautiful northern Italy with the Alps in the background.
Sure.
So,
Wow. So how do we sign
yeah.
up for that tour?
Yeah.
you just got to know a guy, right?
Yeah,
That's right. That's
That's
right.
what
We
you gotta
actually
do.
we had a person from our office go, Tiffany Dixon Dunsworth.
Oh,
was on the
awesome.
trip
Yeah.
with Ethan, and yeah, he said it was really truly one of the greatest trips he's ever taken in his life.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, it was totally cool. You know what? We need to do a marketing trip.
Hey, how about
Maybe,
a podcast?
or absolutely.
Let that sink in with the folks from Fratelli Pettinaroli.
Yes.
And
I'm so
on-site
down.
interview. Yeah,
Well,
I'm there too.
I'm
Yeah.
going to be honest with you, Todd. After watching you struggle with getting this set up this morning, I don't think they're going to want to deal with that.
We were a little disjointed maybe this
Man.
morning. Just a touch.
Ethan
but
is
that's
going
like I
to
said,
call us out. Yes,
That's what he does.
absolutely.
that's what he does. That's
No
why we have
secrets
fun when
here.
we work together.
That's right.
No. One, I love this concept. I'm glad you guys are doing this, and yeah, I think it's cool that we were able to try to attempt it being in the same room.
And we did.
We did.
A
We
for
found out
effort.
we had feedback issues, so we had to
Yeah.
separate. So pardon the mess in the background. Normally, I'm not in my office here doing the podcast. So, but this one's a little different than what we've done in the past. So, yeah, and I want to hear a little bit more about your Italy trip. But Tiffany, I may have kind of just derailed you, kind of giving that history. We got off track a little bit with the T100 valve. But when did Joseph Martin sell to Pettinaroli?
Well, so Pettinaroli early on got 50% interest in the company. So there was a true partnership from early on in the manufacturing process.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until just a few years ago, Joseph Martin has passed away, that his family sold the remaining shares to Pettinaroli. So
Okay. So,
we're very fresh in this idea of being 100% owned by the Italian manufacturer, which it's a great company. So Pettinaroli's been around since 1938.
mhm.
So
Wow.
they are, I believe they're going into a third generation or already into third generation ownership. They are amazing people and great at business, but even better people, which means a
Mhm.
lot.
That's fantastic.
They are and they are a worldwide company. So the Pettinaroli name, the Fratelli Pettinaroli name is a worldwide known name.
Mhm.
They get into a lot of balancing and hydronics and gas, where here in the United States, one of our big things is obviously plumbing and mechanical.
Sure. Yeah, and we offer a nice breadth of product within the Jomar line.
Mhm.
And I like the fact we've got gas valves, we've got the ball valves for water, oil, and gas. We do butterfly valves, which I've even got for anybody who's unfamiliar with a butterfly valve. These are butterfly valves from Jomar. We also have our high performance butterfly valves available as well. But one of the things I think that makes us a little unique with the butterfly valves, Ethan, is the fact that we do actuate valves as well.
Mhm.
We actuate our own valves, and we also actuate other people's valves. And you guys have in-house your own designers, if you will, for actuation.
Yeah, so that's kind of a hidden jewel for us that a lot of people don't know until they do know, that we have an amazing actuation department. And yeah, any valve that we have, for the most part, maybe not our plastic valves, but any valve that we have, we can actuate it. We usually can turn around quotes in about 24 hours. And as long as everything's in stock, you don't have to do anything crazy. You're talking 5 to 7 business days with it shipping out the door based on your order. And yeah, to your point, Todd, we've had other valves shipped up to us that we do not manufacture, that
Mhm.
we have actuated there on site by our team, and then send it right back out. So it's a great little side of the business that, again, we don't talk about enough.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and that we're really good at, and we can really do a good job as far as not only just providing a great quality material, but we are very competitive with this part of our business as well.
Yeah, I've definitely found we're extremely competitive. And that's one of the points I do want to drive home, that anybody that's watching, let that sink in, especially if you're a contractor that gets into the butterfly valves. We've had a lot of wins because of the fact that our turnaround time on quotes and shipping has been so impressive. And stock up to 24-inch in Michigan, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
But make butterfly valves up to 36 inches in the Jomar line. So,
and I read that you guys have over 15 nationwide stocking warehouses across the US?
Yeah, so several of our rep agencies also have consigned inventory as well.
That's great.
Now we keep the bulk of our stock in Warren, Michigan, which is just right outside of Detroit. And to be honest with you, we've been very fortunate in all of this craziness when it comes to having stock. Right before COVID hit, whether it be by luck or anything else, we actually went through a process of expanding our warehouse in Detroit, or in Warren, sorry, where we went to a narrow aisle design, which allowed us to add a lot more square footage of storage to our warehouse without having to actually expand the warehouse. So
That's
because
fantastic.
of that, yeah, again, great leadership, making great decisions, and the timing was perfect. Because of that, we've been, listen, we're not without having back orders, we're not without having shortages. Sure. But we've been really good at making sure those A items were always in stock, and that we were pretty healthy on the B's and C's as well, without a long lead time.
Yeah, I know our customers have been impressed with that. Of course, like you said, we're not impervious to the shortages and things like that. But boy, Jomar has performed so well through the supply chain situation that we've seen. And like you said, we've had the outages, but the nice thing is the lead times. I've never seen a lead time that came out, 16, 24 weeks or anything like that. It seemed like Jomar had the product within a few weeks. Maybe the worst was 5 weeks that we waited for some press valves or whatever it was. But yeah, you guys have performed outstanding through the supply chain issues and the whole COVID shutdown as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of credit goes to our purchasing department and sourcing department to make sure. I would not want to be a purchasing agent right now.
No, I feel for them. I don't envy them.
No, as much as people get mad at the sales guy for not having it, it all falls back to the purchasing guy. But they've done an amazing job with our team and making sure that they have the things that they need to have. And again, it is not easy right now. So all credit goes to them and the leadership team of making the right decisions.
Well, that's fantastic. That's awesome. So Ethan, a couple other products that I want to talk about that pretty unique items that we've recently been introduced to from Jomar. I guess the tankless kit wouldn't be necessarily new, but I feel like we've got one of the better tankless kits on the market. We've, with the amount of tankless kits tankless units being sold out there, we've seen a lot of success with our Jomar customers that love our tankless unit. But can you explain to us a little bit about the tankless unit and what really is different, what sets us apart?
Yeah, so our tankless kit is very much unique to us. A couple of things that sets apart. One, it's 100% Italian, which I don't believe anybody else is touting a tankless kit from Italy. The other part is there's some unique things with it. One, we use a three-way ball inside of the valve. So instead of having the double-handled knuckle busters that a lot of our competitors have, it's literally looks like a quarter turn handle on top of that valve. Yeah, I think you have yeah, that would be it. So it makes it so much easier to use. Also, it's easier to install. We have an offset for the port as well, so it can sit back in a recessed box. And to be honest with you, the cool thing about it is it's super competitive on the pricing. So you're going to get yourself an Italian kit with some upgrades to it that make it a whole lot more user friendly. and you're going to pay, a very good competitive price for it. So we really do have what we think is the best tankless kit on the market. What we could do is also send out, we've got a sweet video on YouTube of this thing that shows you exactly how it works. And so if anybody's listening, they should hit you up and you can shoot them the YouTube page.
Absolutely.
I don't know how fancy we are, Tiffany, but is there any way if we can even embed a link?
I can put a link.
Point?
Absolutely. Yeah,
exactly.
I can definitely put a link in here.
I mean,
so we'll do that.
I could draw you a picture back there on this wall, but people
might as well go for it.
Happy.
Go get you a Sharpie.
Yes, absolutely.
But no, it really does show how it works. A lot of people wonder if there's a lot of extra pressure because it's just a 3-way valve or a 3-way ball, and the video takes away any doubt about how it works. And we have a lot of success with that valve.
Yeah, we have a lot of customers who really, really do like our tankless kits quite a bit. And then one of the newer products that we have introduced would be this right here. And this is our thermal expansion pressure relief valve. And this is a unique item. Take it out of the box here so everybody can see. This replaces your expansion tank.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're installing a water heater and you're putting a thermal expansion tank on the unit, and in at least in our territory here in St. Louis County and St. Louis City, this has been code approved. So our inspectors will pass this in our territory. And if you're a Jomar rep in another territory, or if you're a contractor that's interested in a territory that it doesn't have approval, that's going to be a job for the Jomar rep to get out and try to get this approved in your territory. Where I'm seeing great success with this is I talk to contractors. This is one area I just never thought of: confined space.
Yeah,
these guys have to get a tank, which is a pretty good sized tank, up into an area of floor joists where there's some copper lines running, or they're just in an area where it's really difficult to get that in. Major space saver.
Yeah.
This also is the ball valve. This is your shutoff valve too. So it provides the fact now the contractor installing that heater doesn't have to buy an extra ball valve. They've got it right here. They don't have to buy the expansion tank. They don't have to buy the strap that hangs that expansion tank. There's a lot of cost savings that goes into purchasing this versus putting in an expansion tank in the line there for your water heater.
Yeah, and the concept that we had behind it. Now, we're not the first ones that ever come out with this, but we have the expansion packs by expansion packs. We have it in sweat by sweat and thread by thread. I believe we were looking at a press by press option as well. But what also comes in that box are the barbs that come for.
Where's my box? There we go.
Yeah, for the actual thermal expansion side. So whatever type of product you're running back down to the drain, we've got the connection for it in the box. So you can either you can take that barb out and you can put in PEX, or you can do compression. Those come factory preset at 80, 100, and 125. So based on what you need in your code or jurisdiction, we have the product for you. But like you said, Todd, you got to make sure it's code approved first.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if it is, it's a major labor saver. So it's going to be easy to install. It knocks out all the bracketing, all the other pieces and parts that go along with it. And honestly, it looks a whole lot better in line than
cleaner. Yeah, much cleaner installation. And I had another contractor explain to me too. He goes, "You realize how much this saves room on my truck?"
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
I can't imagine.
Stock 3 of these boxes in his truck instead of having 3 expansion tanks taking up a ton of space, plus the strap, plus the ball valves, all that.
Right.
This is a space saver. It's a hand saver, again, for those confined space installations. The guy, I've heard more guys mention that when I talk to them about this valve is, oh my God, the confined spaces that we work in, this would be a lifesaver for us.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're really excited about the thermal expansion valve. It's really a great valve. And as you said, you're not the first to the market.
No,
but this is new for us relatively anyway. And having great success with it. And we're excited about it.
It is. And in those markets that we've been pushing, we've been very successful with it. So for instance, your market here, Todd, in the St. Louis area, you guys have done an excellent job of pushing that for us. And we've moved a lot of them. So
we have.
Not only do the wholesalers like them, but we've converted some good contractors into stocking those with us as well. So Again, it's got to be allowed, but
Yep.
once it is, man, it's a no-brainer to go with those.
Huh?
That's great.
The basket strainer. Remember that time in the podcast that I'd said we're a valve company? Yeah. We have basket strainers. So there
Nice
are
Remember
basket
that
strainers,
time?
too.
there are 3 products that are. You really model that well, by
I
the way.
Thank you.
know.
Thank
It's
you.
such a good Vanna White, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, there are 3 grandfathered products in our line that Joseph Martin, that's what he loved. So you've got the T100 platform, which what we talked about. You have basket strainers, which I don't know how they fit,
yeah.
but they fit.
Say.
Yep.
And we giggle about it a little bit, but I've got some guys that buy a lot of basket strainers.
That's
Actually a very
fantastic.
nice
So,
basket strainer.
Yeah.
If you guys are, if anybody's listening out there and you need yourself a good basket strainer, you think
Jomar
about
is the
Jomar
place
Valve.
to go.
Jomar Valve is the place to go.
Maybe
for your
supply
basket
chain's been an
strainer.
issue. I don't know. We'll sell you some basket strainers.
Yeah.
And
And
also
then
sell you a thread sealant.
that's the third grandfather item is the thread sealant, right? The green stuff. I've heard rumor that Joseph Martin he'd go make calls on contractors and he would tape like a $5 bill on the bottom of it so guys could buy themselves lunch after they tried the green stuff thread sealant. So
That's
Smart.
great.
we've got guys that still buy that too, which
I believe it.
there's a lot of, you guys rep a line that has that as well, which is a well-known line. And they do a great job with it, but we still have some people that they'll buy our thread sealants from us. Again, valves, right? We're a valve company with basket strainers and thread sealant.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, and it's kind of fun to put that stuff on the table though, because it is a good conversation starter when you're talking about Jomar Valve.
Right.
So
It's
Oh,
us.
That's great. Well, I want to talk to you guys about your counter days, the sweat days, as you called it. Not because it's been like 90 degrees here. But,
yeah, that's every day these days.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. But the sweat ball valves, you guys have been doing counter days, you and Todd, actually, and you've been so successful converting customers to Jomar. I'd love to hear you guys talk about that a little bit. And how did you convert these customers?
Well, can I go first, Todd?
You sure can.
Yeah.
So for some reason I had been told, and so that we sweat like an old leaded ball valve. So Todd was able to get a now wholesaler that is a customer of ours who wasn't at the time, to allow us to host a little counter day. We brought in some pizza and we asked them to bring in guys that were kind of their biggest critics of changing products. And so I think we only had like 4 guys show up that first day, but they were important guys that showed up.
Yeah.
And the first guy started to sweat the ball valve, and I looked at Todd, and he kind of looked at me, and we had no idea what was going to happen because I don't know if you know this, but I've never sweat a ball valve before. Todd, have you?
Yeah, actually, I have. Yeah.
Well, had you sweat a Jomar ball valve?
No, I had not.
Okay.
Wow.
So so we
gonna
kinda,
jump right in the deep end there.
Yeah.
We
So
were leaving it to the
kinda-
contractor.
Right.
Let them tell us.
So
Yeah.
we kind of sat there and waited, and he sweated up, and then he took it back apart, and he was amazed at how well it worked. That it took less heat. He got the full 360 degree full action of that solder going down all the way to the cup. And he absolutely loved the way that it worked. And so Todd and I were like secretly high-fiving each other behind the scene. And listen, it's not that we doubted it. We just didn't know.
We just didn't know.
So we started getting as many people as possible. We had a guy show up. He had his own homemade flux. Remember that, Todd?
That was awesome.
It was in like an
awesome.
old McDonald's cup with like a plastic cup with the same lid, the plastic lid. And he's like, "Can I use my flux on it?" Like,
sure,
why not?
Go ahead.
So they caught fire and people loved them. And all of a sudden this wholesaler that allowed us to come in to just show we might have something completely converted over to us. They're our biggest customer here in the actual St. Louis market.
So really, it was the product speaking for itself, was the
Absolutely.
success.
Yeah, listen,
absolutely.
Todd and I are not great sales guys, but the product was a good product.
Let the
And,
product sell it.
Don't let our boss hear that. Let's not let Michael
he's gonna hear it.
You know,
yeah, no, it's good. We sat quietly, fed them pizza, and let them sweat the sweat the valves. No, but they loved it. And then what we also did was we sampled out. I know, Todd, you took kind of samples to guys that were doing houses. We gave them, a couple houses worth of samples, and you sat out there on the site with them and watched them sweat them up. And again, guys absolutely love them because of that. Now, I will say this, there's a disclaimer to that. They don't sweat kind of like the new ones. So,
right.
When the low lead laws came in, when you took lead out, you had to put something back in. Some guys put in silicone, which is fine, but it's a conductor of heat. So people had to change the way that they soldered. They had to get higher heat. They had to change all sorts of stuff with it because they were struggling with that. Other people put bismuth into it, which is again a fine component to put into it, but that kind of made it a little more brittle at times. What we did is we upped the copper content and put in a couple other additives to that. But by upping the copper content, it made it to where it sweat again, just like one of those old leaded ball valves. But because of that, we have had some issues at times, which it's going to happen, where people have overheated the ball valve, sweating our valve, thinking they were sweating it like one that had the silicone in it. So that does happen from time to time. We just try to educate people that it doesn't take as much heat, and it's a lot easier to sweat up. And once people get the hang of it, they absolutely love it.
Yeah. And one of the reasons we got, and Ethan, when I tell the story, I say, look, we got lucky. We upped that copper content of the brass. We got lucky. And that's one of the differences between us and our some of our competitors is we're a brass ball valve. We're not a bronze ball valve. And we actually, and because we're brass, we've also run into, as we were new to the territory with Jomar, some concerns about dezincification. And dezincification is going to basically essentially be some pinholes that can form in the brass over time, and then of course cause a leak. Well, the way we get around that is, again, because we're a brass and because we up that copper content, then we heat the brass, and I believe fast cool it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ethan, but we heat the brass up extreme temperatures, and then we quick cool it. And essentially that molecular process, which is way over my head on a scientific level, makes our valve impervious to dezincification. Now that was, as Ethan said, we're not the best salesman.
Yeah. So it actually starts well before that. It starts in the actual product that we use. We use a CW511 alloy for our brass. And that is a little bit different than what most brass manufacturers use. And so the alloy means everything to this. So, and that's the story we've been telling to a lot of the engineers as well. All brass is not the same.
Right.
So you have to have the right mixture, the right combination to make this work. But so with the CW511 alloy plus the annealing process, it's a rapid heat, slow cool.
Okay.
Yeah. That completely changes the molecular structure in that brass ball valve. And so what we've been able to do through third-party testing is to put it side by side with our bronze ball valve competitors. And we can show through science that we have the same dezincification characteristics that those bronze ball valves have. The problem is just getting our story out and telling it to the right people. Right. But again, not all brass is the same. We go to great lengths to make sure the quality that we use is the right one. Going back to our trip to Italy, we actually got to go tour the brass foundry, which was excellent. It was really neat to see that. And they brought out the point that, Pettinaroli picks the very best brass to use for their ball valves to make sure that it meets all standards that we need to meet. So it's bigger than just the process. It's choosing the right materials too.
Gotcha. Well, that's a great explanation of it. Much better than I did there, Ethan. But I wanted to bring that up. I wanted to bring up our difference. And because of that, and then upping the copper content, kind of going back to the days that we did with the contractors, you know, Ethan, if I can tell a little bit more of the story, we would never recommend this in the field, but we didn't even have the guys clean the pipe or the valve itself. So for a contractor out there who's worked with other valves that have that bismuth or that silicon, you'll almost feel, it almost feels wet inside the cup. Like it's got this really smooth feel to it. Ours doesn't have that. And we would tell these guys, of course, in the field doing a job, we want you to clean the pipe. We want you to clean the valve. But for our just example sweat days that we were doing with the contractors, we just say, put some flux on it and sweat it and see how it does. And every one of them, I mean, we had the same success. That was the real great part of it, was the consistency of the success that we saw through this. And Ethan, would you say 20 to 30 plumbers by the time we were finished kind of running around doing some of these sweat days that had sweated our product? And I'll never forget that first day that we did our first sweat day. There's a second or third guy that was there, but he looked up at his boss and he said, "This is the only valve I want to sweat."
Wow.
And I mean, it was like,
it was kind of dramatic, but
I will die for this valve.
Oh, yeah. Well, I actually will at this
But that's
point,
pretty
so.
awesome. That's amazing.
How about
it was awesome.
How about the time that the guy brought in his apprentice who had never sweat a valve?
That's right. That's
and
right.
His first experience sweating a valve was ours at the little table we had at the wholesaler. So we had a lot of fun doing it and met a lot of great people, and and his was not the cleanest looking sweat job, which would probably be what mine looks like as well, but he still got the exact same results. So that was the cool thing about it.
Yeah. So I'm very proud of our ball valves. I'm proud of the fact that we've been as successful as we have in the market with our ball valve. The sweat valve got us into the market, but we make such great valves on the press side and the PEX side and threaded that we're really, really seeing great success in the market with Jomar. Yeah. We're seeing a wonderful track record from performance of the valves, quality of the valves. And Ethan, I'd like to go here real quick if I may, but I just want to talk about the handle, if that's cool, as far as private labeling the handle.
Yes, I've heard about this.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This is actually kind of a special handle.
Talk about what the handle.
Beverages. I like this one, but
we could probably get your name
got
on
things for handles. Yes.
So like I said, this one opens refreshment. But no, we are able to private label the handle of our ball valves as
well.
Which
is so cool.
Oh, it's awesome because it's permanent. It's not a sticker. It's actually part of the dipped part of the valve. So it's permanent. And, for a service contractor to have their name and that phone number or website on there, now right above the water heater is this ball valve that's installed, and the homeowner comes down, "Hey, we need a new water heater." Hey, look,
their information right there.
Yeah. Jomar Plumbing put that in, right? So they see that, they've got a phone number. And it's a great bit of marketing for a kind of a marketing-minded service contractor. We've got a few people who take advantage of it, and it's really nice. And it's also a good way to secure a contractor for long-term business as well for our wholesalers.
Yeah, we've been really fortunate with, especially in this market, being able to pick up some heavy hitters, I would say, with that private label that have kind of helped put us on the map here. Yeah. And yeah, we can do, name, we've got some that have a logo on it. Right now we are really good with black ink and no other colors.
Right.
Hopefully we'll get something else in the future. One that I was thinking about, and I would like to see somebody at some point, instead of, put your name, but QR codes would be cool to be able to put on those.
Absolutely.
As well.
We actually
right to your website.
Yeah, take you right to a landing site. So I can't wait to see someone that's got that going, to where all you gotta do is get your phone out, click on it, and you're right at their page, getting everything you need.
It's a fantastic idea.
I've got a contractor right now who's talking about doing just that, Ethan, where they QR, so the homeowner can QR it, and actually it'll go right to their scheduling page.
Oh, wow.
Contractor.
That's even next level up. That's even better. That's great.
So the opportunities of just private labeling this handle are as simple as a phone number, or as technologically advanced as a QR code that takes you right to the website of that contractor and schedules. So We've had a lot of success with that, and I think the contractors love seeing their name on that valve as well. So it's been fun selling that.
Listen, for the guys that are doing, that kind of work, that are doing the service plumbing, it's all about getting your name out anyways. Marketing is a big part of it.
Yep.
And if you're going to spend money on marketing, why not put it on the actual product that's going to be there that somebody can give you a call about? So
exactly,
it's a great concept.
Well, it's a great company. We're really proud to represent Jomar Valve. It's, coming into it, I'm just going to be totally honest. When we took on Jomar, we had almost no sales in this market.
Correct.
We really didn't have an established presence in the market. And here we are, 3 years later now, Ethan, and enjoying great success with the product line. So, if a contractor or a wholesaler has questions about Jomar Valve, please, you can reach out to me at PM and Associates. Of course, Tiffany will provide the contact information for PM and Associates, but we would love to talk to you more about Jomar Valves. And don't forget that we have those butterfly valves as well. That's a segment of our business that I think sometimes gets forgotten. So great folks at Jomar who can put together those actuation quotes in a very quick turnaround time and get the product to you very quickly. So Ethan,
awesome.
I don't know if there's anything you wanted to add, or Tiffany.
I was going to say, I would love to. Ethan, did you have anything else that you'd love to talk to us about here on the podcast today?
Is there something you want to know?
No.
No, I mean, listen,
we just like hearing you talk. So, we didn't
thank
want
you.
to,
You're a great guest.
No, Jomar is actually an amazing company. Even in all of this, we've been steadily growing, telling our story to people. I always tell people, Jomar's a 50+ year company, but it hasn't been but for the last few years that we've really gotten serious about what we're doing. We went out and got some new rep network. The management has changed a little bit, all young guys and gals that are helping lead the way. And, we are hungry and we just want to win. So maybe all I do is win is a good startup song for this. For that.
And if I could jump onto something you just said, I just want to quickly mention Lauren Baronato.
Yeah. Yes. We can't leave
star.
the podcast without mentioning Lauren. So.
No. And for any engineers that are watching, let that sink in and watching this episode, Lauren Baronato is working more on our specification side, and boy,
she's the national specifications manager.
That's correct.
And she is just absolutely full of knowledge and
and just energy, great energy,
yes.
And
I'm a big fan.
Hold on, let me add this. Not only is she the national specification manager, but she is now the new project manager for our recirc setter, which is our new thermostatic balancing valve that's coming out. So she has got a wealth of knowledge on that. This thing that's coming out is going to be revolutionary. Jomar, we've added new products from time to time, and I think the biggest new product we've added since I've been here is probably the high performance butterfly valves, even though we've added a lot of other things. But this recirc setter is going to be completely different, and it's going to be able to be field adjustable, which I don't know of anybody else that has that. So this thing is going to be big news. 100% made in Italy as well. Nice. So it's going to be coming out very, very soon this year, and she is the lead on that. And
I
so
can't think of anyone else better.
She had a hand in development, I think, of that, doesn't she?
Yeah. So she's been in on it since the very start of this. So not only does she do the national specifications, which she does an awesome job at.
Yes, she does.
Does an amazing job in front of the engineers. Engineers love her. I believe she sits on the board for ASPE in the Northeast with Philadelphia. That's where she's from. But now she's bringing her product knowledge to us as well, as far as developing a product. So
I want to be Lauren when I grow up. Can I do that? She's fantastic. Absolutely love her.
Her trainings and things so concise and quick too. I mean, that's important for anybody, especially if an engineer wants to get in touch with Lauren. She will take you through a presentation in about 20 minutes at best. and
Mhm.
not waste your time and educate you on everything you need to know
Yeah.
about the product, whatever that product might be. But the research center, obviously, she's going to have a wealth of
Mhm.
knowledge on that. So
And speaking to the engineering side of it, so we started with the concept of Lauren being the national, and she still is. We've added a West Coast person right now for that, and I believe we're going to hire another person. So we will have 3 people in our specification department that's going to be out calling on engineers. So that's something that
fantastic.
we're a little
That is.
behind on. Again, we told the story a little bit today, but it's one that needs to be in every engineer's office. So we're going to have, she's going to have a team that she is leading that's going to be calling on engineers nationwide.
very
That's
cool.
great. Hey, Ethan, thank you so much for everything today. This
Yeah,
has
thank
been
you.
so much fun. Such a wealth of knowledge from you. And
Well, let's
we-
not
Yeah,
lie.
Don't go overboard, Tiffany.
Yeah,
I'll just keep it. It was really fun. How about that?
perfect. That'll work.
There you go.
That'll
There you
work.
go.
But if you would like any more information on Jomar, please contact PM and Associates. You can find us online at p-massoc.com, or you can call our number at 317-827-0419. Thank you again, Ethan. And we'll talk to you
welcome.
again
Thank you so
soon on
much.
Let That Sink In.